What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? As you can see, it's been a minute. Growing a scruff on the sides. Wow, man. But it's been good. So, the ones who've been following me on Facebook, actually, I acquired a rental property. First rental property. And I started doing it, and it went well. We bought it back in January, and been driving about 6 hours here and there, and getting ready to take that property and put it on Airbnb. And we had a deadline of about August. And we made it. Put our heads down and we made it. But the title is called Wealth is Silent. And I'm going to give an example. You know, in high school, there was, in the Spanish culture, they have this thing called machismo. It's like, it's like masculine type energy, right? And the guy that I knew in high school that was the toughest guy was two things. He was the smallest guy, and he was the most quiet guy. Very shy. Didn't do a lot of talking. You know, when you see two men fight or two women fight, you can always tell who's afraid, because they do a lot of chitter chatter, talk. Because what they're trying to do is to scare their opponent with words. But if you ever see a person that is silent in the midst of fear, or in the midst of a fight, or anything like that, you really want to pay attention to that person. And that's what wealth is. So the place that we're actually doing with the rental property, we bought the rental property, is in the middle of nowhere. It's in the mountains, right? And you see these cabins that are like, you could totally tell that you have to have wealth in order to live in something like that. But you see these people around, and even they talk about it in The Millionaire Next Door, that real wealthy people, they don't flaunt it. They have nothing to prove. You go to a lot of low-income neighborhoods, you'll find very expensive vehicles where people are making car payments because they're trying to be loud with their money. But anyone with common sense knows that a car is a bad investment, terrible investment, and that real wealth is actually building money when you get old. What do I mean by that? Russell Brunson, the owner of ClickFunnels. I was doing some research the other day. You know how much this guy makes a month? Around $600,000 a month. Now, some people would never see that type of income in a year, let alone a month. But he doesn't flaunt it. Humble. Lives in Utah. Modest. Dresses modest. People who want wealth and low self-esteem go hand in hand. Okay, I think I'm good. I received a call. I'm going to say that again. People who flaunt wealth and people who have a low self-esteem go hand in hand. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is this. Is that a lot of people want to be seen. So they will spend a lot of money on clothes, on things to be seen, cars, music played loud. Look at me, look at me. They want you to see them. But a real confident person can walk into a room and doesn't have to say anything to anybody. Doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. Because it's not about him or her. They're not trying to, if they are working on things, they're working on themselves. They're not trying to use artificial things in order to impress you. What I'm trying to say is that don't spend all your money trying to be something you're not. Don't worry about buying the best looking car. Buy real estate. Buy things that are going to set you up for the future. Don't live in the now. Well, live in the now, but don't let your finance live in the now. Let your finance be something that you can live and let your kids become wealthy. Give them a start. You know, a while ago, actually over a year ago, I created the 5 a.m. book club. And that was one of the most powerful things that I created. And if you guys haven't found it, hashtag 5 a.m. book club on Facebook. One of the smartest things. Now, do I get up every day at 5 a.m.? No. And here's why. The other day, I was actually in at the rental property. And I was doing an event. And I was up till about 12 a.m. Now, 12 a.m., in order to get prepared for the call, I had to be up at 4 a.m. because I hadn't did my reading for the day. But most days, I try to make it there. But what that does is that starts my day off in a positive way. Because one thing about me is that I told myself I'm going to die trying to obtain wealth. And what do I mean by that? Every penny I have, every dime I have, I don't want to waste. I want to make $1, $10, $10, $100, $100, $1,000, $1,000, 10,000, and so on and so forth. I want to multiply every penny that I have in my life. And I hope that you out there are doing this also, because I don't want you to focus on, I don't have the right job. You have a job. You have money coming in. But what you need to do is, if you're not where you want to be financially, don't sweat it. But do not be this person that is living outside of their means, trying to impress people that don't even like you in the first place. I'm very serious when I say this, because there was a time in my life that I spent a lot of time trying to spend money to impress others that really didn't care about me. And there are some of you right now that are out there doing the same thing. You worried about who cares what about you. It's not about it. So what I'm trying to say is, one of the best things that you can do is that the money that you have, if you can afford to go out and be drinking, and afford to go out and be in the mall every week, or buy these expensive TVs and try to impress these people, you got to stop that. You got to learn how to take that dollar and to turn it into $10. Always think about investing. Here in about next week, I'm going to start a group up again. And it's going to be attached to the hashtag 5 a.m. book club. And we're going to go over a few things. We're going to go over fitness. We're going to go over wealth. We're going to go over books to read. How to better ourselves, because should be a lifetime commitment. And I'm going to make the cost very low per month. But I want, what I want is to be surrounded by individuals who want to become better in life. If you're not happy with where you are now, you can change it. You can become better. You don't have to be poor for the rest of your life. If you don't like your weight, you can change it. If you don't like your financial situation, you can change it. You can change it. So, what I'm trying to tell you is this, is wealth is silent. The real wealthy people aren't creating programs. They're living in the mountains, getting away from others, getting away from family members because they're jealous people. And they're making their money, and they're loving their families and loving their kids, and they're not trying to impress others. They're trying to impress themselves. So just remember that. Don't go out and think that you're going to get a big enough watch to impress a person, or get a big enough wardrobe to say, I'm going to show them. No. If you don't have any money, when you pass away, you don't have any wealth, when you get in your 60s and 70s, and you're having conversations about, oh, this president is cutting Social Security, and you're upset and mad, it's too late at that time. You got to do it now. You got to make the sacrifices now. You have to tell yourself today, I'm going to be wealthy, and start taking baby steps to get there. So I just want to plant a seed in your head today to let you know that if you're not where you want to be, you can make the decision today to take baby steps on a daily basis to get there. And I want to help you get there. I just want to say this piece here. I didn't know much about rental property at all when we purchased it. But it was a cash deal. We did it. And it's going to turn out great. But the thing is, when you listen to a lot of that chatter, when you're about to do something, you can talk yourself out of something. You can let fear get to a point where it can prevent you to take the next step. But whatever that is, if that's going back to school, if that's opening that business, whatever that is that you need to do it today. So, the last time I was here, I was going to give you 30 free tips toward fitness. So I've already created those videos, but I'm going to put them in a organized fashion. It's called a funnel. I'm going to put them in an organized fashion. And I'm going to be giving that to you this week. So haven't forgot about you. I want us to grow together. Some of you have been with me since we started. Some of you are in a much better place. Some of you probably haven't made the next step. But if that's you, whatever category you fall in, don't give up. Keep moving forward. Let's keep moving forward. Every day we're going to get better. And that's all I have to say on that, people. So until next time, signing off.